y'all like to hear a funny story? This is a story about paying attention and the importance of paying attention. Many years ago, I happened to be traveling on the road by myself. Not on foot, which is my preferred method of travel. Being in a car, you're moving at a certain velocity and a speed. Anybody who's driven a car or even ridden in a car long enough and has made this observation is aware of what this is. You're moving so fast you can miss what is obviously right there. You know, it takes time to pay attention to what you're actually looking at. So I'm riding down the road and all of a sudden I notice movement beside the car, on the outside of the car, the passenger side. Now this is just a 2-lane road, one way or the other. So whatever's beside me is not a car, but it's moving so fast it's keeping up with the car. I look over to the right, and what do I see? I see 2 deer that are running along the side of the road, almost about the same speed that the car is traveling. So what happens next? I'm trying to figure out what this is all about because I ain't never had this experience before. There's got to be a purpose and a meaning to the behavior of these creatures. You got to think about what deer, how deer feel about cars. They probably more scared of cars than they are coyotes. That being said, from the body language of both of the deer, they seem to be trying to jockey with position of the car. Now, if you're not familiar with racing terms, to jockey is to try to get into position so you can either get behind or get in front of another vehicle or moving object. It's really a horse racing term. But it looks like they're trying to get, like they either trying to get ahead of the car or they're trying to get behind it. However, they looking at me like I'm looking at them. And this is when I noticed this. They looking at me like I'm looking at them, trying to figure out what I'm about to do. Like I'm trying to figure out what they about to do. And then it dawns on me, hey, pay attention to the road. That's what you're taught when you learn how to drive. If you're taught by anybody who's decent. So I look back at the road. And what do I see in front of me? There's a bridge. So I take a glance back at the deer. And they were doing the exact same thing I was doing. And about the same time I glanced back at them, they glanced back at me like, hey, what you about to do? And then it dawns on me what the issue is and what the situation is. They moving just as fast as I'm moving. And they only got so much time before the road comes to an end. And they got 2 choices. Either hop on that bridge and keep running alongside with me, or be able to slow down enough. And I want you to think about what it'd be like if you had the body of a deer. That's like being born with the body of a four-wheeler attached to your head. Them animals can get out there and they can get it. They can reach some speed. However, you ain't never seen a deer wipe out. Oh, good Lord. That's a tragedy in on itself. I mean, it takes about 4.5 days to stop rolling. Okay, all exaggerations aside. The only thing that makes sense to me is slow down. Give them room to pass. Maybe that's what they're looking for. So I slow the car down. And sure enough, both of those deer. One of them immediately, like when they see that I'm slowing down, they take the cue. The other one's a little bit more cautious. They're not quite sure. But as they get closer to the end of that bank, I mean, what do you think is under that bridge? I'll leave it to your imagination. But it ain't level terrain, I'll tell you that much. That deer was about to figure out if they could grow wings. Or maybe gills. They are good swimmers. The other one eventually crossed over too. And everything was good. So y'all pay attention out there. It makes a difference. Separate the positive from the negative. The rest is history. Time to rest.